Hi everyone, welcome to another Workshop Wednesday video brought to you by HEB Helping Here. My name is Edgar Cortez. I'm an educator here at IMAS, and I'm glad that you are here to join us. Today we're going to do optical art, which is a very special kind of art you might not have heard about. But before we get into that, I want to talk to you guys about the giveaway that we have. So if you manage to get yourself a bag with the supplies for this activity, you are automatically entered into the giveaway. But if you do want to have extra entries, you can always comment below what was your favorite part of the video, or maybe share the artwork with us. For this month, we're going to do another art activity, and it is all about optical art. Okay, now for the kit unpacking. So if you manage to get yourself one of these, there is a few things inside that we're going to use. First of all, we're going to get a sketchbook. So it's just a regular sketchbook that we're going to use, and you can always use it for other stuff, other projects of your own. You will also get some scissors. So we're going to use them just a little bit for this activity. We get an eraser as well, and some pencils. So optical art is an art movement that started not so long ago. Actually, it wasn't really a movement, but it was a kind of a different approach to doing art. Usually, art was kind of the same, right? Just kind of drawing or painting things that you would see in real life, sort of like people, or maybe painting fruit. But optical art kind of changed that in a way where it didn't care about that, and instead it kind of went with kind of optical illusions, which are very cool to see. I have some examples over here so you can see. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but as you see, sometimes it can be kind of hard to look at, and especially in person, it kind of looks like it's kind of moving or waving, kind of like a waving pattern. I have another one here. Usually they're abstract, so they don't really have any sort of shape or form. Well, this one does have a shape. It has a kind of like a circle shape, but it doesn't really need to be or look like anything. And these are both pieces by Bridget Riley. Bridget Riley was sort of like the first person to ever use optical art as their signature style, which was pretty crazy because that wasn't so long ago. So she kind of started that. And then ever since then, more and more artists have been doing that for themselves. And we're going to do something similar. It's not going to be kind of like a circle like I just showed you, or squares. It's going to be a bit different, but it does include the same kind of aspects of using illusion to make a picture. And that's going to be very fun. Before we start, we're going to get our materials. So make sure you get your sketchbook, your pencil, and then your eraser, just in case you make a mistake. But I'm sure that you're all pros. What we're going to do is create an illusion where it looks like a butterfly is standing on a piece of paper. And you might think that that's kind of impossible to do, but it's not that hard. Follow me if you want, or you can create your own butterfly. It's up to you. Okay, so we're going to start off drawing the wings. And this part can be a little bit hard, but just kind of remember to use your shapes, your basic shapes. So we're going to start drawing let me see. I'm not sure what kind of shape this is, but kind of like a triangle, right? And then over here, we're going to start drawing a rectangle. And then it kind of tapers here at the bottom. It's more of a, I'm not sure, kind of a trapezoid, a bit more. And then for our final one, it's going to go kind of like this. So those are our three shapes. Pretty simple. Pretty sure you all can manage to follow along. And then to continue, we're going to start drawing the actual butterfly. So it would be, so his head would be kind of around here. This would be his head. And then his body would come across like this. Right? This would be his kind of his tail, or his back part of his body. And then we're going to give him some legs. Again, you don't have to completely follow along. You can always draw your own butterfly. maybe make it different. But yeah, you can always follow along too if you find it hard to draw. Also, it's very important that you leave space on the bottom here. There's a lot. You see how there's a lot of space here? That's very important for the actual illusion part that we're going to do in just a bit. So make sure you have space. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just kind of shading in, drawing where it's going to be dark. So since we're only using pencil, we're going to have to kind of make the most of it using different shapes and using different shading techniques. So right here in the wings, I'm just kind of drawing, coloring in kind of dark here on top of the wing. And then it gets lighter as it goes down. Okay, so again, we're gonna just keep on shading. So normally you would see butterflies with their wings being darker in the edges. So that's what we're gonna do as well to get that feel of a butterfly. This is a good time to remind you all about the giveaway that we're doing. So again, you can always comment down below to get an extra entry into the giveaway. That will make it likely for you all to win. Okay, so we're just finishing it up right here. Maybe you can go darker on the actual butterfly. You can give it more legs if you want. I can maybe give it here, another one in the back. Okay, so this is our butterfly. I could just keep on going forever if you just kind of coloring it in. But yeah, I should stop here so we can move on to the actual illusion part of it. Okay, so to transform this kind of two-dimensional butterfly into a more of a three-dimensional drawing, we need to give it a shadow, and that would make it feel or even look more like like it's an actual thing that has a volume or that takes up space. So that's what we're going to do. And the way that you give an item shadow is just kind of shading in the bottom. So you can see me going like this. It's not too complicated. So we're going to shade the bottom. Okay, so when we do the shadow, we got to kind of make sure that we're following the same shape of the butterfly. So the tail here, or this back part of the butterfly, it's the same as this kind of shadow shape that I made here. See? And then the head's here, so we're going to make another kind of head shape in the bottom. So it doesn't have to be too exact, but it does kind of make it a lot more believable if you do kind of get it exactly right. And one way to get shadows more accurately or more realistically is by making the middle part a lot darker than the outside. So you can see here right underneath the butterfly, it's actually a lot darker than over here, for example. If you're having trouble with getting it dark or light, you can always use different techniques when it comes to that. So you can either press hard with your pencil to get it super dark, or you can just kind of layer and keep on going. So you can see here in the wing part, if I go over it again, I'm not even putting too much pressure, but if I go over it again, it's gonna get darker. And that's with me not putting any pressure on. There we go. So we're gonna move on to the next part, and we are, I would say, maybe 80% complete. And this next part will actually add more to it and make the illusion a lot more believable. So I know that we have the shadow already in our butterfly, but we need to we gotta cut some part of the paper. So if you do have a ruler, kind of like mine, you can always use it. And it might help. You can use the edge of a paper or something to make sure that you have a straight edge, okay? So I'm gonna put mine here. So you can see where my line is. So it is, I would say, halfway through this first shape that we made for the wing. Okay, next we're gonna grab our scissors, and remember that these are, they count. Yeah, you guys get one in the bags that you got. And we're gonna tear out the piece of paper. Be careful. I don't want you all to mess up your drawing by ripping it or anything. So just be careful, and it will come off kind of like this. Next, we're gonna cut through, or cut where the line is. So, but we're not gonna cut through our butterfly. We're gonna go around our butterfly. Okay. So when you get to the wing part, so be careful. I kind of give it a snip a little bit, but that's fine. There we go. So you should have something like this. And we're still not done yet. So now it kind of looks like the wing is coming out of the paper, right? Okay, so this final part is it's not that hard. It's gonna require us to use our scissors again. What we're gonna do is, in the corner of the paper, we're gonna grab our pencil and make a line kind of similar to this right here. So you're gonna make kind of a triangle here at the edge. Okay, so what you do here, you're gonna do here as well. You can see it there. 2 straight lines, or as straight as you can make them. Again, you can use a ruler, which it can be very helpful for some people. And then we're gonna cut them as well. There we go. That's our butterfly, and what these lines do here is it kind of makes our eyes kind of look forward. Look kind of inwards or towards the butterfly. So it makes that effect of a paper laying down kind of like this, and the butterfly standing on it. Thank you for joining me today and making a new kind of optical art activity. It was very fun. It was very different. I'm curious to see if you all have done something like this before. The effect is actually very cool. As you can see here, this is the one that we made, and this is the one that I did with color a while ago. And yeah, it looks really cool. And I want you all to kind of experiment with that. Use the rest of your papers. I know we just used one for this activity, but you really have a bunch of papers here in this sketchbook. Next month, we're going to do a watercolor drawing activity. And that one's going to be very fun. I love watercolor. It's one of my favorite mediums. And I would like to show you some stuff that I know. And the following month, we're going to do illustration using markers and probably pens. And I'm going to show you how to maybe make characters, or just kind of use techniques that illustrators might use when they make art. Again, I would like to thank HEB Helping Here for making all of this possible and giving us the opportunity to make art virtually. We are open here at the International Museum of Art and Science, Wednesday through Saturday from 10 through 5, and Sundays 1 through 5. So I would like to see you all here. Maybe if you all see me, you can always say hi, and I'm excited to meet you all.